Now, today we'll be talking about setting investment goals. But the good thing is, the principles that we're going to share here, they can be applied in every aspect of your life, and they're going to yield results for you. Now, stick because we'll be sharing practical tools that are going to enable you actually achieve the goals that you want to achieve. The year is still fresh, and when the year is starting, we always want to start the year knowing exactly what we want to achieve, how we're going to, what we are going to do throughout the year. And those are goals that we set to. Now, most of the time, you will find that we become complacent along the way. We lose track of our goals, and we end up not achieving the goals that we set to. Today, we're going to look at goal setting in a slightly different way, and it is going to be beneficial, especially for you this year, 2024, because we must achieve the goals that we set to achieve, and more specifically, investment goals. Now, it's good to start with a question. Why do we set goals? Why do we want to set goals? Why do we want to start the year knowing this is exactly what I want to achieve this year? The thing is, it's human. We have been born with a desire to always want to make progress, to advance. And you'll find this even with little ones. When they are born, they want to open their eyes, they want to begin crawling, they want to begin walking, they want to try and talk. And you want to know things, and every day you want to make progress. Even from the early man to now the modern man, we have seen progress, and we always want to advance. And it's not wrong to want to make progress. Now, on the flip side, nobody wants to remain in the same place. And when that happens, there's always a problem. We imagine having a child of your own, and when they're supposed to be talking, they're not talking. When they're supposed to be walking, they are not walking. It becomes an issue, and you have to take them to a pediatric to really determine what could be the problem. And so today, if you have been having a problem with setting your goals, trust you me, we're going to find a solution in today's webinar. Now, vision plays a big role in enabling us achieve the goals that we want to achieve. Number one, in setting, and also having in mind what we set to achieve. So, and that brings me to the place where we need to start with the end in mind. In my opinion, if I were to be asked, imagination is the most powerful tool in the human race. And throughout human history, we have seen people imagining things and setting out to achieve the things that they have imagined. And these things we can see, like for instance, the couch that I'm sitting on today. Someone imagined, what if we were actually able to sit comfortably? What if we built permanent houses? What if we could take photos, we could record? Someone had to imagine that. And we don't stop at imagining. There's a quote here by Tony Robbins, and the quote says, "Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible to visible." Now, the invisible is what is in your mind, and I want you to take a walk with me. Take this journey with me. Let me ask you, what kind of a life do you want for yourself? Immediately I ask you that question, your mind takes a journey into, by the way, what kind of a lifestyle do I want? If it were an ideal day, when you're successful, what would that day look like? Where would you wake up? Would you part your curtains? What would you expect to see? Who would you wake up to see? Who will you be meeting during the day? What kind of a day will that be? What car will you drive? What activities will you do during that day? That is imagining. And I want us to think about it from a financial independence, retire early perspective. So, what amount of money would you want to be earning passively in that particular day. In that day when you need not to work for money to sustain the kind of lifestyle that you want. What amount of money will you be earning passively? Now, that amount of money that you will be earning is called the FI number. It's called financial independence number. So we define financial independence as having assets that are able to generate you sufficient monthly passive cash flows to finance your needs, your wants, and your desires. So there's that specific amount of money that you will need to sustain that kind of a lifestyle that you're thinking about, that you're imagining about right now. So, what is that number? Please write it down. Let me ask you, are you going to achieve that by design or by accident? Are you going to actually channel and plan your journey there, or do you want to land there by accident? There's an adage that goes that if you don't know where you're going, any road will lead you there. And most of the times, the reason why we fail to achieve the goals that we set is because we don't have a plan around it. And now a plan is going to help you get there. Now we have very interesting tools that I'll be sharing with you on how you can make sure that you set goals which are smart, and also you are able to keep track of the goals that you have set for yourself. Now, since we have started with the end in mind, and I understand that financial independence, retire early, is quite a new concept, especially here in Africa. And I want to take time to really break it down for us step by step on how, with that financial independence number that you've set, how you're going to get there. And that brings me to setting goals. You know, there's nothing as demotivating as not being able to achieve goals. Imagine you set your goals, like for those who set the goal of starting gym, starting gym every single year. You set the goal to lose weight every year. By the end of the year, it's like you have gained more weight than you actually started with. Now, the problem is you don't have tangible mechanisms with teeth. You need to have mechanisms to help you get there. Otherwise, you will continue to wish. Now, let's look at how you set the goals. Number one is you start with the end in mind. And for us now here, we've started with the end in mind. Our end in mind is we want to retire early and achieve financial independence. Now, if we are to work backwards, right now, that is the amount of money that you want to be earning passively when you get to financial independence. Now, the question is, when do you want to stop working hard for money to sustain your lifestyle? How many years to retire do you wish to take? So for some, maybe you have decided I'll retire when the lapse of my employee contract, which mostly is around 65 years. Or maybe some want to really achieve it very fast, maybe in their 30s, in their 40s, because there are people who are called, they are turtles when it comes to financial independence, and hares. So turtles, they're the people who just want to go step by step. Let me just enjoy. I'm not in a rush. I have all the lifetime, to live. And the hares, they just want to get there very fast. So maybe you could be a turtle or even a hare. But now the question is, how much time do you have for you to achieve financial independence? Write that number down. Now, for you to be able to set goals effectively, because what goals do and the tools that we have, they really refine the goals that you intend to set. And that is the purpose of using tools. It's okay to have a goal, but these mechanisms are going to refine the way you're going to get there. They're going to refine the goal itself. And I want to share two tools that you can use And the first one is the SMART goals setting. So, and this is very popular. You've heard of SMART. And if you've not heard, SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound goals. Now, when you're setting a goal, you need to be very specific. Be clear, be concise about what you want to achieve. So for instance, if we're talking about financial independence, retire early, there's that amount which you wrote. And let's work with 10 million, for instance. So you want to earn passively, in our case, since we're in the real estate industry, you want to earn passively through rental income an amount of 10 million. Now, that is very specific. You want to earn that on a monthly basis. Now, the other question is, what time do you have to retirement? Maybe some it's 25 years, some it's 35 years, some could be 40 years. The other thing that you need to ensure your goal is measurable. Can you measure your goal? For instance, 10 million is measurable. So if you work backwards, is maybe asking yourself the question of how many units would I need to invest in for me to achieve a passive rental income of 10 million? So now, if the net rental income that you receive is 10,000, then that means you need to have 1,000 units for you to be able to achieve that. Then this leads me to the next thing that you need to do when you're setting the SMART goals. You need to ask yourself, is it attainable? Can I get it? Yes, I want to achieve this, but am I capable of achieving that? They have to be attainable. They have to be goals that you can actually attain. And more to that, they have to be realistic. You have to set realistic goals, because now if you know this is the amount of income that you have, disposable income that you have, how am I able to plan to ensure that as I am working backwards? So let's say for this year you've decided, I want to invest and buy myself one apartment that is going to, so I have a goal for this year to invest one apartment. Now, what is the time limit to that? So for instance, we talked about the number of years you have to retirement. But now when you're breaking down, because it's a journey, you won't buy, not everyone is able to buy their 1,000 units at a go. So you need to work backwards. And what am I able to achieve this year? Is it attainable? Next year, this is what I want to achieve. Next year, but one. In 5 years' time, these are the number of units that I want to have achieved. And it's possible to have the goal set in a smart way over a period of time. And then the thing is with setting goals, if you don't put a time limit to them, you can want to achieve your goals forever. Every year you will be wanting to achieve that goal. So if you decide, for instance, I'm going to start with 1 unit, I'm going to invest 1 unit with TSAVO this year, then that is realistic, it is time bound. So you tell yourself, by the end of this month, I should have started investing with TSAVO. That is very time bound. And so you say, by the end of the year, or in 2 years' time, or in 5 years' time, I need to have completed making payments for this particular apartment that I have bought. Napoleon Hill says, a goal is a dream with a deadline. So if you don't put that deadline to the goal that you wish to achieve, it will just be a dream. The second tool that I'm going to introduce to you is OKR, which is an acronym for Objective Key Results. Now, this is a tool that you will use to track your progress on a short-term basis. This helps you know, by the way, am I on track? Am I not on track? The SMART goals help you to really see and envision everything and give it, make it specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Now, the OKR is actually a tool that is going to help you make sure that you track progress, there's alignment with the goals that you want to achieve, and also it is going to help you measure the goals on either on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, and even on a quarterly basis. Now, an objective is basically what you want to achieve. So for instance, we said that you want to achieve financial independence by this time. And now working backward, you said you want to invest 1 unit. And you know exactly this is the amount of money that I need to begin contributing towards payment of my unit. Another good thing is that you can decide that for yourself with the zero deposit, zero interest payment plan that we have, where you just divide the price of the unit by the number of months that you want to pay. So on that one, you can decide how fast you want to, finish paying for the unit that you have. So if that is the objective, so I decide I'm going to invest maybe 70,000 or 35,000 or 100,000 every month toward paying for that unit I want to invest in. Now, the OKR is going to, there's the objective and then there are the key results. So the objective has to be very concrete, action-oriented, and it has to inspire you. It has to be inspirational. So if I decide it's 100,000, I need to feel like, yes, I can do this. Now, the key results, they are the results that you expect to achieve from that. Now, good key results, they are SMART. So they are specific, they are time-bound, they are mostly aggressive. Now, there's a term that we use, especially here in TSAVO. You will hear us talk about BHAGs, and BHAGs are big, hairy, audacious goals. Now, that goal that you're setting for yourself, that big goal that we have set, it is a BHAG of the kind of a lifestyle that you want to achieve and within the time that you want to achieve. That's a BHAG. Now, OKR on the key results will ensure that, yes, it is an aggressive goal, it is audacious, but I'm going to get there. And now the advantages of using OKRs is there are 5. And these are, I'm going to give you a numerical way to remember them. The word facts. And number 1, they give you focus. They are going to give you focus because they are very specific. Like we say, they are SMART goals. They're going to create alignment for yourself so that you are able to follow through. So you know this is what I want to achieve and this is how I'm going to achieve it. And I'm going to give you quite a practical way that you can use OKRs. And the other thing is commitment. You're going to have a level of commitment toward your goal. You need to stick. OKRs call you to stick to the priorities that you actually set. And the last thing is tracking. They will help you track the progress towards the goal. And if it's not working, you can change the tactics that you have been using. The OKRs will stretch you for sure. They will stretch you because if you know this is the objective and these are the key results, if I've not achieved the key results, then it means then there's a problem. I need to iterate from plan A to a plan that actually works. And when we're looking at OKRs and how they work, so for instance, I'm going to give you an example because you can use them to track your FI numbers. So if you set to invest this amount of money, every month you need or every week if you're planning to be contributing towards payment of the unit on a weekly basis, or the actions that you're supposed to take on a weekly basis to ensure that you achieve that FI number. So if you're contributing, let's work with 100,000, and the first month you contribute 30, that amounts to around 30% of the amount. Then the OKRs will tell you that the strategy that you're using is not working, and you might need to do a complete reevaluation. So going back to the SMART goals, maybe that was not attainable, maybe it was not realistic, and you need to go back and really reevaluate. By the way, is this really what I wanted to do? You set a BHAG maybe to contribute 100,000. That's a BHAG because you want to achieve financial independence. You have a shorter time period, or the amount of units that you need to buy for yourselves, there are many. So that means that you need to actually reevaluate and ask yourself, did the goals that I set, are they specific? Are they attainable? Are they attainable? Are they realistic? And then you revise that. If you, for instance, you contributed between 30 to 70,000, that amounts to around, 31 to 70%. Once you review, you'll ask yourself, is the strategy working? And maybe you'll say, it's not to the expectation. My expectation was to do 100,000. And now you might need to review that strategy, or even change it if necessary. So this might call to just get better. Unajiambia, I need to pull up my socks. This was the goal. I said I'm going to invest this amount of money. But maybe you could review and ask yourself, by the way, where else have I been spending my money? Are there places where I'm putting my money that I should not be putting my money? Have I been spending a lot on consumerism? Yeah, so such questions will help you now reevaluate and see, how am I going to actually achieve the 100,000 that I set to achieve? So now, if you're achieving between 71% to 100, now you are doing good. You're doing good. Now, it's true you are close. If you're doing 100, you have hit your target. Now, if you're doing 100, I think you might consider setting a bigger goal, because you are easily hitting that goal. And so most of the time you will need to either continue doing that, or even set a more challenging goal, because the more challenging it is, the more you test your abilities, the more you test how agile you can be. And at the end of the day, you want to achieve financial independence. So if you are able to get there, the faster, even the better. Now, you need to review your goals very often. So 3 things when it comes to goal settings. Number 1, you have to start with the end in mind. Number 2, you need to use goal setting tools, because they will help you refine and ensure that you're on track with your goals. And lastly is that you need to review. Always sit down and ask yourself, have I really achieved what I set out to do? Am I close? Am I losing track? What do I need to do to actually get there? Now, here's a quote by Carl Jung that says, your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. And this is your call. It's time to make that goal a reality. You have said, I'm going to invest, I'm going to start investing for so long. Don't be like that person who is always starting to go to the gym every year. And the good thing is, we now have a 0 deposit, 0 interest payment plan that allows you to dictate how you want to get to that FI number that you have set for yourself. So it's very simple. It works simply by just dividing the price of the unit that you want to buy for yourself. You divide by the number of months that you want to pay. So if you want to pay off within a month, if you want to pay off within 20 months, 30 months, it is all upon you, and you just need to put in the work. And that's it. If you want to learn more about how you can achieve financial independence, please make sure that you like this video, subscribe, so that every time we release new videos, you get notified. And if you want to get started on your FIRE journey, please visit www.tsavo.ke to get started, and follow us across all our social media platforms. That is tsavo.ke, and we will be there to engage with you and to know how we are going to get you to financial independence, because TSAVO is about earning while you sleep. Until next time, God bless you and have a happy new year, and cheers to you making your goals a reality in 2024.